Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Vibe of a Relationship Coaching. That stands for vision, inspiration, belief, and empowerment. And that is my goal, to help you heal from toxic relationship heartbreak so you can live the life that you truly deserve and desire. So what we're going to be talking about today is, how do we listen to our intuition? And this can be challenging, especially when we're, busy with work and life. There's so much going on that it's hard to really determine what is our intuition and what is that actually telling us and what to do. And I've seen this come up in different ways and forms with some of the clients who I've worked with. When they start thinking back to the beginning of their relationship before their relationship ended, they start blaming themselves because they feel that they saw things in the beginning of that relationship and within the relationship that were red flags, but because of something, they ignored it. So for example, it would be something along the lines of, things just felt too perfect in the beginning. Things felt just like he knew exactly what to say or do. And I always used to think that was weird, but I'm like, maybe he's just a really great guy, right? And then they would feel like something was telling me something was off, but I didn't listen to that. Or for example, I never met any of his friends or family. And I used to think that was weird. But I always used to think, oh, maybe he's just really busy, so he will make time. So I used to just let that go. But now when I think about it, that was off and it did feel weird. So the thing is that our intuition is always speaking to us. It just happens that we're not able to listen to it when we need to listen to it. And I'm not saying this to put blame or shame to anyone. Even I have had challenges with listening to my intuition, but it comes with practice. Maybe you're the person who is like, you go to a get together or you're with some people and you're just like, something about this person or something about this environment doesn't feel right, and I think I'm going to go home at this time, or something doesn't sit well with you with some conversation you had, something feels off, right? All those instances, guys, those are your intuitions actually speaking to you. So a lot of the times we think of intuition and we think of like meditation and sitting down, going to the woods and all that stuff. But in reality, that's not intuition. Those are practices to help with listening to our intuition. But in simplicity, what our intuition is, it is, some people will say, the spirit within you. Some people will say the universe speaking to you. Some people will say it's God speaking within you. So people will use different terms to talk about the still and quiet voice within you that is giving you direction to make a move, right? To make a decision. So the difference, how you will know that it is your intuition versus just your brain, is that there will be a certain amount of peace that when that comes with that thought that comes into your mind. So take, for example, the whole idea of not meeting your potential partner's family or friends, for a long time in your relationship, and you're questioning that is wrong. So usually when you think about, or when that thought comes into your mind, you're like, something does not feel right. And within you, you truly believe something is not right. And because you have that instinct within you, as soon as you start trying to make an excuse or validate why maybe that thing is not real, that's when your brain kicks in. So your intuition is that still and quiet voice that sounds very clear. It's giving you direction, right? And it's just a matter of you listening to it. So how will you know if it's your brain telling you something? So when your brain is telling you something versus your intuition, it'll be worry. You will feel anxious. You will not feel calm about whatever information you've received. You'll be trying to seek validation from multiple people. So there's anxiety surrounded when our brain is talking versus that still and quiet voice that gives you a quick insight into something. But if you're not being attentive to it, you will miss that. So our intuition is that still and quiet voice that gives you peace, but our brain, our anxiety will be things that comes up. We're trying to validate it. It makes us feel anxious. It makes us feel worried. We're going and trying to get multiple people's opinions and thoughts on it. we're constantly worrying. But with our intuition, it's a quick, silent nudge, yeah, you could almost say, that comes on. And how you listen to that is not trying to validate or make excuses for it, and just listening to that. So with the practices that I talked about earlier, such as meditation, going into nature, going into the woods, being in silence by yourself, those are all methods that can be used to help train ourselves, our minds, to listen to our intuition. So if you're struggling to listen to your still and quiet voice within you, it's a matter of silencing the noise around you so you can actually listen to yourself. So a lot of the times we're too busy, work, life, a lot of social media, we're up and down, constantly moving, that it's hard to actually know when it is our voice speaking to us versus social media, versus a family member, versus a parent. That's why reflection is so key, is so important. Writing down your thoughts, journaling, so you can get used to hearing your own insights. Because when you can be attentive to that, you can start being able to listen to yourself when those initial instinct, those nudges comes in within you. So again, as soon as something comes into your heart that there's a sense of this is a still and quiet voice and there's some peace with it, that's your intuition. So now I want you to validate that. Don't try and make excuses for it. Don't try and seek a lot of opinions, because as soon as you start doing that, you discredit your intuition and start not to trust yourself. And you try now to make excuses for what you believe is true within you. So be intentional. Make those practices, whether that's meditation, journaling, calming the outside voices, social media, putting those aside so that you can start being able to hear your own voice. That's really what it is. Being able to hear your own voice, the spirit within you, the God within you, the universe within you, whatever you call it to be. For me, it's the Holy Spirit within me that is guiding me, that is telling me what to do. When I listen to that, I know that I am making the right decision. So I say all this not to put shame, not to belittle, not to say you're not doing it right, but we can always get better, right? Because we always see red flags, red signs, whatever you want to call them, in relationships. And we know that our intuition is telling us that something is wrong, because we get that still and quiet nudge in our tummy, right deep down in our gut. We can feel it and in our heart. And now it's just to trust yourself, right? Trust yourself enough to know that you're going to make that decision. And no matter what happens, you are able to pick yourself back up. You have the support system in place to help you get back to the place where you need to be. So trust yourself that your intuition is directing you exactly where you need to go. Don't doubt it. Don't try and second guess it, because the minute you do, you discredit it and you don't follow through with what your intuition is telling you. So intuition, peace, it's a soft, quiet nudge or, voice. Your brain or anxiety will be worry. It'll give you doubt, it'll leave you feeling anxious. So that's how you can tell the difference between your intuition versus your brain. And then do those practices that I talked about to help you get in tune with your intuition and how to listen to that still and quiet voice within you. Because once we've made some mistake in the past, the goal is not to make them again. So if listening to our intuition will help to not repeat certain things that happened in the past, it's so vital to learn how to start listening to that and being attentive to that. So I hope this was helpful to you. I want you to be able to be in tune with your intuition. Go out and do those practices to help you get back in tune. But honestly, guys, it's listening to that voice within that gives you peace. It gives you calmness. It gives you direction, and not the brain that causes you anxiety, worry, fear, and chaos. Okay? So comment below. Let me know how this was helpful to you. I would love to connect with you. You can find me on vibewithviv.com. And until next time, and that's Vibe with Viv.